October 2017. I had just discovered VRChat for the first time. I made tons of friends and countless memories along the way. VRChat has a lot to offer for almost any kind of person. However, there has always been one very popular activity on VRChat, even since the population was much smaller. Drinking. A lot has changed since 2017. I've changed. But drinking only seems to be getting more and more popular here. Why? What makes drinking in VR so much fun? Is there a drinking problem in VRChat? This is what I'm here to figure out. First, let's get my story straight. I won't give you my life story, but I'll sum it up as fast as possible. Most of my life, I was never home or even really had a home, as we constantly moved due to circumstances. I spent most of my late teens and early adult years out and about, with friends, lovers, etc., etc. I made silly videos, started a band with awesome friends, played a bunch of shows, then suddenly, it all stopped. One day, I decided I was going to go inside and never come out. No one ever came looking for me. A year or so later, I found VRChat. It changed everything for me. My friends were and still are the world to me. Some of them drink alcohol on weekends. Well, actually, most of them did. I'd be lying if I said I had never had a drop of alcohol before, but I didn't drink. It wasn't my thing. This was until 2019. I eventually cracked. I believe this was just due to not being able to relate when everyone was drinking, and my life situation at the time where I was very depressed. I actually started with Fireball, straight shots, because I thought that's what everyone was doing, since I had no prior drinking knowledge. This led to me being passed out within the first couple hours of every night I drank, eventually leading me to puking for the first time when I took about 15 plus shots within 45 minutes. Since then, I switched to mixed drinks and things are definitely smoother. I used to drink a weekend here and there, but for the last year or so, I have been drinking almost every weekend, sometimes even 2 days in a row. Part of me feels like I should stop. The other part of me says a few drinks over the weekend won't kill me. Damn, I told my life story, didn't I? The story isn't really about me, so let's continue. I gathered quite a few people and asked if they would sit down for an interview about drinking with me. Let's check them out. When did you start drinking?
I started drinking when I was probably like 16 years old. Back in the day, I'm 29 now, so I've been around for a while.
Okay, how has VRChat and influenced that? Would you say you drink more or less?
I would say I actually drink less because I feel like I can kind of drink at my own pace. I'm not like in an IRL setting where like somebody's forcing something down your throat or something, like binge drinking at all. In VRChat, it's kind of like free because if I don't want to drink and somebody's like, hey, cheers, I can be like, hey, cheers, and I like take a sip of my LaCroix and get away with it, you know?
I first started drinking. Well, I had my first drink that I was aware of at about 12 or 13, but consistently, I'd say about age 17, which is a long time ago for me, I suppose.
Right. So how has VRChat influenced that? Do you feel like you drink more, drink less, whatever, you know?
Yeah, I think with VRChat, I drink more because there's the opportunity to. In the past, I've drank, drunk, something. One of those words. I've had a lot to drink in the past on weekdays or whatever, just chilling with homies, either IRL or online. But I do think that VRChat has influenced my drinking to make me more likely to drink on any given day.
I started drinking in high school. I used to host a lot of house parties, and so I would just drink every couple months at a house party. That was it.
And how has VRChat influenced that? Would you say you drink more or less?
100% more. VRChat kind of took the vibe of a house party, hanging out with all your friends and getting drunk on a weekend, and made that every weekend, and you could always do that. So it just kind of enabled me to do it more and more and more, to the point where I was doing it like pretty much every weekend, and still kind of am.
When I didn't start drinking until I was 24 years old. I had graduated college already, and I was afraid. And I went to a party with some friends, and they were just like, "Here, do it." And I was like, "You know what? Fuck it, whatever, fine." And like, I immediately fell in love with it. I loved the way it made me feel. It was fucking fantastic. It made me so confident. I felt so good about myself. I just kept drinking until relatively recently. I'm 27 now. Oh no, I'm 28. I keep thinking I'm 27 still. I'm 28. I'll be 29 in February. So I only drank for like 5 years. But yeah, I quit 3 months ago. 3 days from now. So
Nice. Okay, this is part of the same question. It's more of a follow-up to it. How has VRChat influenced your drinking?
It made it way more often. I got drunk way more often. I drank way more because it's so much easier.
Shit, I don't even know. I don't remember. 2019 probably. 2018.
Okay.
Like a year after I started VRChat.
How has like VRChat influenced it?
It's the only reason I drink.
Well, goddamn.
I never wanted to drink before VRChat. My dad was like a really bad alcoholic, and I have now fallen into the trap as well.
How often do you drink? Like when you do drink, how much do you drink in a night?
It depends. So if the weather's nice outside, I usually drink a lot less, like maybe like once or twice a month on a weekend. And just because like I really want to be outside doing something when it's nice out. But since I live in Cleveland, the weather can get really poopy outside and there's like nothing to do. Plus like you have like Thanksgiving and Christmas, my birthday, and like all these other different things and events going on too. It's kind of hard to like not drink as much during the winter.
It got over time. I think it's important to note because I didn't drink as much at first. It was maybe like 2 or 3 Trulies. I did drink wine exclusively for a while, but then I went down to seltzers and fell in love with those. But 2 to 3 was an average for a while, but then it got pretty bad, and I was like 7 or 8, and just getting like blacking out like once every other weekend or something. But yeah, at my worst, it was 7 or 8 a night. That's all I could tolerate. But I know a lot of people do more than that or less, but I still think that was way too much.
It depends. On weekends, I get blackout drunk almost every single weekend. When it's not a weekend, I still drink. I drink almost every day at this point. I still get drunk enough to where I fuck things up, like relationships and stuff. But it could be like 5 or 6 beers on like a Monday to like 20 beers on a Friday.
So I drink, I'd say 4 nights a week, maybe 5. And when I drink on the weekends, it's definitely more because I'm around more binge drinkers, which obviously leads to more peer pressure and more drinking because, you know, the call and response of cheers being cheers is just a given for drinking more. But I'd say I have, on not binge drinking nights, I'll have like maybe 1 cocktail and like a beer like after work.
It varies a bit. Maybe like a bit under half of a 750, so like 300 milliliters, 350, something like that, of just like liquor mixed into drinks.
Man, would you even agree that, before I even ask this question, would you even agree that drinking in VRChat is like fun?
Oh, dude, it's the most fun thing in the fucking world.
Okay. All right. What do you think makes drinking in VRChat so fun?
I just think it's the ease of access, and there's one, it's cheaper. That's a big thing. It's way easier. So you can just drink whenever, and you can take your headset off whenever you're done. There's no risk. And like, you can talk to anyone you want. Like, there's people up at all times of the night. There's people who do every different sort of thing. Like, there's just so much you can do, and you're in a safe environment while you're doing it.
It just makes it so damn convenient. And I think the nature of VRChat, like it's being this social platform that it by its very nature, whether you drink or not, attracts people who are like shy or isolated, or socially awkward, want to work on their social skills or whatever. All walks of life. So drinking just makes everyone that much more comfortable. It slows your brain down. It's a depressant. Makes you relax, gives you energy, all that sort of jazz. Makes social life easier as long as you don't overdo it.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I think. I don't think VRChat makes drinking fun. I think drinking makes the people who play VRChat more tolerable of being social.
Yes, that is an awesome question. The thing that makes it fun is because I feel like if you're already in VR, you're already like accustomed to like video game culture and like at least VR in general. So you have like a lot of just somewhat like-minded people that all have some kind of something. Plus you can hide behind an avatar too. You can be scared to death and walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, what you drinking?" And they'll just be like, "Huh?" And then just, I don't know, break the ice and start a conversation. And if like the conversation is awful and it doesn't go the way that you planned, just, I don't know, leave, and it's not awkward. So the people, and just, I feel like, and this is like a two-sided sword, so it's awesome and it's not at the same time.
Right.
Because VRChat doesn't have a time zone, it's like, if you start early, you're drinking with all the Europeans, and if you go later into the night, all of a sudden the Australians wake up and they're wanting to hang out too, and it's like you just get to talk to like a whole range of people that you would never get to talk to IRL.
Yeah, you always have people to drink with.
It's an escape inside of an escape. VR is already an escape from normal life. And drinking, most people use drinking as an escape, something to party with, to get away from your average life. And just combining them together is like doing like LSD and weed, or like a drug with a drug.
I think drinking in VRChat is more fun specifically because a lot of the people that play VRChat have severe anxiety or like are really nervous around people, and obviously it's a little bit of self-medication, but it takes the edge off and it kind of breaks through that barrier that people have of interacting with people. You can kind of just let a little bit looser and be yourself, and I think that's what encourages more people to drink.
And before we finish the big question of the video, I went around for a little bit asking why everyone was drinking tonight. This is how it went.
Oh, that's a good question to ask people.
Yeah, but
gonna be like,
why are you?
Oh yeah, I should get on with the friends, bro.
Because it's a weekend, and I don't know. It's just kind of the habit.
Because why not?
Set by who?
Fair enough. Fuck yeah. Cheers.
Hell yeah. By who you?
To forget.
Saturday night, I'm in VRChat, and it makes
We
it
be
easier
drinking.
to cause mischief.
Socialize.
And cause
Okay.
mischief.
Is that your answer? To socialize and cause mischief?
Yeah.
All right. I respect it. I respect it.
It's my weekend. I'm in the military. And I
Yeah.
like to de-stress with some drinking because I can't smoke weed.
I think that there's an alcoholic problem in VRChat. I truly believe that. I think that people who have access to alcohol are able to abuse it more in this game, and because of the necessity or the desire to be drunk around people who are already drinking, kind of makes that problem worse for a lot of people.
VRChat makes it really easy to have an alcohol problem. I think alcohol in general is obviously the problem, but VRChat just gives it the extra oomph that like alcoholism or anything else, any other kind of like disease would need to fulfill itself faster. It's so easy to drink all the time. There's always something going on. There's always a party. There's always something happening in VRChat that if you don't watch yourself, alcohol will follow.
I think it comes down to like moderation. Like a lot of people can't really moderate themselves, and people start drinking a lot, and that's when it becomes a problem. but I don't see it being like maybe like a couple of times a month you drink and you don't get absolutely smashed and destroyed, right? Like you just drink a little bit every now and then. That's perfectly fine. There's no problem with that.
Mhm.
But when it becomes to be like a habit and like you're doing this every single weekend, or like I know people who drink like multiple times a week, even outside of the weekend, that's when it like starts to become a problem. And that's just because it's so easy to do.
Yeah, 100%. You go to any world, there's someone drinking. It's probably me, to be honest with you. But
understandable.
any world, it doesn't matter if there's children around, no children. You can find people drinking alone in worlds. You go to any drinking night and there's gonna be a group playing shitty, getting blackout drunk on any given day. It's really, really easy to find people to drink, which I think is the problem.
Yes. 100%. I mean, I think it depends upon like the social circles, probably. You know, I don't think anyone's experience is the same on this game, but you know, I love my friends, but I made most of my friends drinking, so you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep drinking. You know, so I see it all the time. When you make your friends drinking and then you stop, everyone else is still gonna keep drinking. You know, so you notice it more. But yeah, I see it everywhere. You go public worlds, it's everywhere. There's some of the most popular worlds in this game are based around drinking. It's just a social lubricant, you know. It's been super popular through all human history. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. But I do think people need to be more considerate for their own health about how much they drink on here, because you're not moving around, you know. The headset makes you not feel as drunk as you actually are. It catches up to you real quick, and before you know it, you got like a 4-day hangover, or maybe even worse. You know, some people might end up going to the hospital or whatnot. You hang out with like the worst drinkers, and it's like 4 or 5 times a week they're getting blackout drunk and whatnot, and developing medical problems. And you don't want to see that happen to your friends, but there's not much you can do. But you know, just be there for them. Be supportive, talk about it, be open, not judgmental. But yeah, to answer your question and keep it simple, there is a drinking problem in VRChat and in society in general.
And that's that. Please like, subscribe, and share the video if you enjoyed it. I won't lie, once I started, I didn't want to make this video anymore. I don't think this will be the direction I go in my future videos, but either way, I hope you enjoyed it and have yourself a wonderful one.